And once again, what is up, my fellow patriots? How we all doing out there in America, land of the free, home of the brave? Me, the Wicked Wizard, back with a new video. Today we're going to show you some evil people blaming Donald Trump for the floods in Texas. Donald Trump has godlike powers and control the weather. It's just crazy. Anyway, let's check out what this insane person has to say.
And what a horror story in Texas. The flash floods in Texas, the Guadalupe River. 51 missing, 51 dead, more missing. Children at a camp. And you know, when the president guts all of the early warning systems and the weathering forecast abilities of the government, these are the results that we're going to start to see on a daily basis because he's put this country in so much danger by his horrible, horrible decisions and this ridiculously immoral bill that he just signed into law. As Republicans cheered,
Yep, sure
people will
did.
die as a result, and they've started already. Shame on him. Shame on every GOP sycophant who's listening and following the disastrous decisions of this mentally incapacitated POTUS.
No, Rosie, shame on you. Didn't you? Don't you live in Ireland now? Where do you even get off talking shit about anything? Just shut up and go away. I mean, you're just so disgusting. Uh, and you got regular idiots all doing the same thing. Let's check out this one.
So let's get this straight, guys. For months, meteorologists, experts, and media outlets warned that Donald Trump's budget cuts to the National Weather Service were reckless, and that slashing funding and gutting staff would directly hurt their ability to predict severe storms, that it would put lives in danger. And now, right on cue, a deadly flood hits Texas, and state officials are turning around and blaming the Weather Service for inaccurate forecast. I mean, are you
No,
fucking kidding me?
no, no,
This is what
no.
happens when you hollow out public safety in the name of politics and cruelty. The NWS isn't some luxury. It's not a partisan tool. It's the reason families get warnings in time. It's the reason people evacuate. It's the reason kids make it home from school before the storm hits. But McDonald Trump's second term has made it crystal clear. If a program protects people and saves lives but doesn't align with his agenda or help his image, he'll gut it, no matter who.
Yeah, except that's bullshit. They didn't cut the weather service. Donald Trump's DOGE cuts don't even go into effect until October. So at this point, there's been nothing cut. $0 have been cut from anything at this point. So you're full of shit. You're an evil scumbag just trying to bash Donald Trump. Let's check.
Democrats have been blaming President Trump, as we said, and DOGE for the deadly floods in Texas. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer calling on the Commerce Department to open an investigation to see if DOGE cuts at the National Weather Service stations impacted the situation. But
They
this
did
is
not.
how White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt responded to the claims after Rav's own Brian Glenn asked the question. Take a look.
Do you think those comments are depraved and despicable, especially when so many Americans
Yes.
are mourning the loss of their children? The National Weather Service, as I said, did its job. Many experts, many meteorologists have said that. Many of you in the media, in all fairness, have said that as well. Unfortunately, not all. And many Democrat elected officials are trying to turn this into a political game, and it is not. This is a national tragedy, and the administration is treating it as such. We know the National Weather Service provided early and consistent warnings. They gave
did.
out timely flash flood alerts. There were record-breaking lead
did.
times in the lead up to this catastrophe. There is ongoing flood monitoring, and these offices were well staffed. In fact, one of
Yep.
the offices was actually overstaffed. They had more people than they need.
That's right. So they were not understaffed in any way. No funding has been cut from anything. Again, the DOGE cuts don't go into effect until October. What is today? Oh, it's July 8th, right? So yeah, no, they're just making stuff up to try to bash Trump. They're evil people, man. They really, really are. And here, you can see it right here. what does this say here? A local meteorologist for CBS Austin, who has won 4 Emmys, said that the National Weather Service did their job and they did it well. A flood watch was issued 12 hours in advance, and a flash flood warning was issued 3 hours in advance. So, yeah, no, you're lying again, like the Democrats always do. They always lie. But, you know, hey, let's hear what...
the modern Democratic Party, modern Democratic Party, it's hysteria over compassion. It is Trump derangement syndrome, definitely, and it's confrontation over collaboration. And they let that go here. Last point, Trump's the one. He got in late September, early October, he went down to North Carolina after that tragedy. He and Melania went out to the fires right after he was sworn in. He goes where the crisis and the pain exist. And he tries to go when they won't be in the way of rescue and recovery. He goes to share people's pain and try to add some compassion, some federal resources. The Democratic Party is so hollowed out in their anger and their misery and their bitterness towards one man who's on a 2-week hot streak that they can't even express enough compassion to the loss of life, which includes, you know, kids our own ages. The modern Democratic Party.
Nope. There's a lot of Democrats on here cheering. Hey, too bad. Texas is a red state. Y'all voted for Donald Trump. You deserve to die. Kids, they're gleeful that kids died, right? What did Donald Trump himself have to say about this? Well, let's check.
Oh, that's terrible. The floods. It's shocking. They don't know the answer yet as to how many people, but it looks like some young people have died. Federal aid for the... Oh yeah, sure. We'll take care of it. We're working with the governor. It's a terrible thing.
So there you go. Donald Trump says, hey man, we're working with the governor. We got plenty of federal aid. As a matter of fact, Donald Trump was immediately called them and asked them, what do you need? Right? Here's his letter. You can pause this and read this. But it's from the White House to Greg Abbott. And we're talking about giving them anything that they need, right? So, yeah. So that's all bull, right? But when they talk about cutting FEMA, well, yeah, we do want FEMA cut because FEMA is bullshit, right? This is what happens with FEMA. FEMA does nothing, right? They do not meet people with immediate needs. Like it says, we do not have the funds. FEMA does not have the funds to make it through the season. Remember the hurricanes, North Carolina, Florida, all that? Yeah, there were no FEMA funds. Well, there were some, but anyway, check this.
North Carolina is underwater, 1,000 people missing. While Pinellas County, we had 11 deaths, and we have a majority of our residents that aren't going to be able to come back to their homes because they're completely destroyed. You have Mayorkas, the Biden-Harris administration, and radical leftists in Washington, mostly in the Democrat Party, gave illegals $1.1 billion in housing assistance. People that never paid into the system. Mind you, they wouldn't have been here in the first place if they weren't campaigning on open borders, but that's a separate video. You should be pissed. And if you think as a legislator, I'm not pissed, and I don't see the games that happen in Washington hoping that you're not paying attention, because that's how it goes up there, is they hope the American people are too busy working to pay attention to the crap that they're doing. I'm telling you, you need to get out and vote, because this is not going to stop. It's just going to continue with the inflation, with the border.
Yep. So you see that, right? So FEMA diverted all of their funds to give it to illegal aliens, right? To put them up in 5-star hotels, to give them cash and debit cards and free food, health care, free everything, right? That's why we want FEMA gone. And as a matter of fact, if you remember this.
Literally, what is FEMA? So my daughter, whose house got completely wiped out, she has no flood insurance, meets with a FEMA person, applies for everything she doesn't get the $750 that Kamala says that she's supposed to get, gets approved for $300 for personal items. What is that going to do? That's literally what she got. Her entire first floor is wiped out. We hauled everything off. It's gone. So what is FEMA? And being a mayor,
so they didn't even give her the full $750.
They didn't even give her $750. Denied the $750.
They gave her $300.
They gave her $300. That won't even cover what's in the refrigerator.
So that's what FEMA does in states that they don't like, right? Under Biden and Harris, As a matter of fact, you may remember this. Where is it? Yeah, right here. Here we go. Check this. Do you remember this?
For folks who need immediate needs being met. And the federal relief and assistance that we have been providing has included FEMA providing $750 for folks who need immediate needs being met.
So your entire house is wiped away by a flood. You've got nothing left. Nothing. No house, no possessions, nothing. And Kamala Harris promises to give you $750, and most of the people that applied for it were denied, didn't get it. Right? It's just so ridiculous. I mean, and yeah, you remember this over here?
Boyd Homes advertising Trump. That's what a then FEMA supervisor allegedly told workers who were on the ground to assist hurricane victims in Florida last year. But now, a new report from a federal watchdog confirms that FEMA employees did skip over homes with Trump campaign signs in the yard.
Oh, but you Democrat scumbag pieces of shit are so compassionate, huh? Well, you ain't gonna give you, if you got a Trump sign, you ain't getting nothing. Nothing, right? Now you know why we want FEMA gone? Because FEMA don't do nothing. This is what FEMA is. Funneling emergency money to illegal aliens. So anyway, man, Donald Trump did nothing. Okay, there's been no cuts to the weather services. Any of the DOGE cuts won't take effect till October. So right now, nothing has been cut, zero. And turns out that they were not understaffed, they were overstaffed. But hey, man, that don't let that stop CNN from lying. Don't let all that stop all these lefties from lying and saying that Donald Trump's the cause of everybody's dying, because you know he can control the weather. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. Anyway, let me know what you think about that down in the comments. Do you want FEMA to be gone? I mean, if they don't even pay you $750 after you lose your whole house, what good are they? And if they're going to skip over any plan with a Trump sign, yeah, they got to go. They got to go. We want to cut FEMA, but move that money to the states, right? Not cut the money for federal emergencies. Just get rid of FEMA, gut it, because it's a lefty scumbag shithole evil organization that funnels money to illegal aliens and doesn't give it to American citizens, especially ones that voted for Trump. Should we get rid of it, or you think that's just fine that they could do that? Do you think Donald Trump caused the floods? Is it his fault? Anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Again, don't forget to give me a thumbs up, share this out, and sub up to my channel so we can continue to help Donald Trump make America great again. Until next time, peace. Take care, folks.